good news to report in the fight against coronavirus. The FDA has approved a new treatment that promises to keep people out of the hospital. Omicron has now been detected in all 50 states. South Dakota was the final state to detect that strain. It was only 3 weeks ago that the first case was reported into the U.S. And community transmission is up. That means more people are getting the variant or contracting COVID-19. As you can see from this map from the CDC, all of the red means cases in the states. Now, Allison Harris is live with some new comments from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Good morning to you, Allison.
Good morning, Adrienne. So just a day after President Biden told people who are fully vaccinated and boosted that they can continue on with their Christmas plans, they don't need to cancel their holiday plans, Dr. Fauci yesterday at a White House COVID briefing told people that they should still not attend large gatherings and those big Christmas parties, talking about gatherings that have about 30 people or more. And that's because Omicron is just that much more contagious, that much more transmissible. Now, the good news is that we've been talking about for weeks, the early studies out of Scotland and South Africa, they show that this variant is not as severe and not as dangerous as the Delta variant. Even still, listen to what Dr. Fauci had to say yesterday.
There are many of these parties that have 30, 40, 50 people in which you do not know the vaccination status of individuals. Those are the kind of functions in the context of COVID, and particularly in the context of Omicron, that you do not want to go to.
So the CDC director shared yesterday that COVID cases in this country are up about 25%. Deaths are up about 3.5%. Some good news, though. Pfizer's pill to fight COVID, it has been authorized by the FDA to treat those who are at risk of severe illness, who are 12 and up. Now, right now, the Biden administration says about 265,000 courses of that treatment will be available next month by January. The federal government has ordered 10 million courses of that treatment, but that won't be available until about the next 6 months. So over the next 6 months, Adrienne, but still some good news there.
Yeah, we like to report some good news. There's a lot of good going on, as well as stress and pressure and hecticness. All right, thank you so much, Allison. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.